Hello, all you amazing healers, intuitive people, and everyone interested in having really great relationships and improving your success in life. So, one thing that a lot of us have suffered in some way, shape, or form is trauma. Trauma is when you experience something that's really frightening and it pulls you up out of your body. And people that experience PTSD, for example, are being pulled back into that trauma over and over again and reliving it as if it never stopped happening. So today I'm going to reveal to you ways to help release some of that trauma out of your body so you can wake back up to your real self. So stay tuned to hear more. This is Anastasia. I used to be a physics professor specializing in vibrational and quantum physics. After recovering from a serious illness using energy healing on myself, the calling to heal became so strong that I had to quit my 40-year research career. I replaced my 6-figure professor salary within 5 months using a simple but not easy 3-step system that I worked out to grow my healing practice. Now I help other healers grow their practices, whether they're just starting or already have a practice, with this same 3-step system. I'm all about helping you too. Listen in to learn more. Thank you so much for coming back. And as I mentioned, you're going to hear all about how to release, one way to release some of the trauma that has happened in your body. And it could be a trauma that resulted from you being in a near fatal car accident, or having been through a war, or some sort of situation where you were very abused. And these are things that sit in your body. It's like it creates, and there are so many ways it sits in your body aside from the emotional and the mental anguish. There are also places in your body that change energetically. That's why a lot of people that are undergoing stress and have experienced trauma and it stresses them out, why their health goes downhill so quickly. It's very hard for them to be lit back up in that high vibe mode. So one of the ways is that there's trauma sitting in the body, and what happens is that the energy field around you gets dark spots. For example, if you were beaten when you were a child, like your backside will have dark spots in your energy field. You will also, depending on the relationship of the person that created the trauma for you, you will also have parts of your energy portals, or what we call chakras, they will be closed down. So these are 2 things I'm going to address today. And so the first one is about the dark spots in your energy field. So assault is really common. It's more common than you think. I have experienced it. I'm sure some of you have experienced it. And what it does is it keeps pulling you back to that old place. And it even makes you hate the person that did that trauma to you. The only problem with that is that it keeps pulling you back into a relationship with that person every time you think of them and get very angry or upset with them. And the thing is, what you want to do is every time you have that thought with them is to cut the cord. But the problem with having the trauma sitting in your energy field is that your energy field has holes or dark spots in it, allowing things to penetrate, because your energy field is a protective layer around you. So one of the things that I help people do is help relieve them of it. So one way is when you breathe, like when you think about this situation, right, whatever it is that caused the trauma in your body, is to take a deep breath and then cut the cord to the thought and let that thought drop deep down into the earth. so it can be carried away from you. And the earth has this magnificent recycling system within it. The earth has a circulatory system or a convection that's happening inside of it. And this convection then takes the energy that you release and it recycles it. It pulls it out of you. It allows you to let it go, right? So keep that image in mind, right? And the next thing is that as you're cutting the cord, take a nice deep breath and imagine light coming from above, and it is pink and gold. So gold is divine light that heals you, and pink is loving light that also heals you. And you can imagine that pink and gold is filling in all of the dark places on you, everywhere that you've been hurt. Let's say you were beaten, or you were raped, or you were attacked, or something. Whatever that trauma is you can help by restoring you back to yourself, especially that energy field around you. And the other thing that could happen, just looking at my notes here. So the other thing that you can do is you can imagine, so just imagine you're listening to musical notes. And right now you're at a very low end of musical notes. And as you listen to them, you're bringing them up to higher and higher frequencies. It's like going up octaves on the piano, or up octaves on a guitar, or up octaves on a horn. Right? As you go up in octaves, each octave resonates with the previous one. And the higher the frequency, the healthier your body is, the healthier your energy field is. So just imagine that this sound is coming into you and you're going up octaves. And as you go up from octaves, you go from deep despair to depression to sadness to even feeling guilty to feeling ashamed that these things happen to you, and you're moving into gratitude. Right? Gratitude is the first place that you can go. I'm glad I had these experiences. Next time I know better. I will never ever let people cross my boundaries again. In other words, you know how to protect yourself and say no to the person. This happened to me. I was assaulted back when I was 30. And then when I was in my mid-40s, I had another experience with a man stalking me, and I had 2 young children. And as soon as he came to my house, he lived quite far away, and he kept calling me, and I was hanging up. And as soon as he tried to enter my house, which he did by climbing over several fences till he got to my backyard and snuck through a window. So here he was in my house trying to talk to me, and I told him he needed to leave. And I went to the garage and I got a big 2x4. And now, mind you, I'm only 5'5", and this guy was 6'3", right? So I went to the garage and I got a big 2x4, and I had it like a baseball bat. And I said, "You'd better get out now." And so then I'm pushing him out the door, and he's still hanging on to the door saying, but. And I said, "No, you need to leave now and never come back. Do not call me. Do not show your face. Out." And as soon as I did that, I took my power back because I knew I was going to be okay. And so that reminded me of that old assault, and I could release him and I could release the previous assault. Right? This person wasn't going to assault me, but he was stalking me, and it was frightening. He was going to all my friends and talking to them. He was, calling me. He was invading my workplace. He was just going all over the place to try and have a conversation with me. And I told him that I didn't want to have a future with him. right? That's all I told him. I just said, I've thought about our future and I don't think there's going to be a one. And yet I felt violated, assaulted, invaded, and all those things. And this kind of healing by making myself whole again allowed me to let him and the previous assaulter, who was a true assaulter, go. I could let them go and allow my life to move forward. And I know it's difficult and it's really hard to move on, but there is a possibility of doing that, because the assault turns part of us dark, and what we need to do is light back up again. And that's the purpose of going up in octaves and imagining that energy coming into us, and also re-establishing a very, very firm boundary and energy field around you. And then the last thing that I'm going to talk about is your energy portals or chakras. What'll happen a lot of times, if it is sexual assault, like it is for a lot of women and a few men, if it's a sexual assault, that usually means that something is off in our sacral area or second chakra. And sometimes it's even broken off, so you can't get any energy in there, and then the health of your body in that region will suffer and show that. And I personally had giant fibroid tumors. I looked like I was 5 months pregnant, and the doctor kept telling me I needed to lose my uterus, and I said, no, it's not unhealthy. It just has these fibroid tumors in it. So I had one fibroid tumor removed, and then I took care of my health and did energy healing, and the rest of them disappeared. So this allowed me to heal. And one of the ways that I did that was I helped create a working vortex, because your energy fields have a vortex. They work by the right hand method, and I allowed the energy to come in. So I just rotated the energy in the direction it was supposed to go in, and I imagined all that bright light flowing in, and fixed it. Because your portals or chakras are where you have receptors, and these are nerve receptors. These are glucagon and other and polypeptide receptors that you need in your body, and they also take in light from the outside world. And that light that you receive on them really helps feed all of your organs, your emotions, and everything that belongs there. And so those need to be nice and open. So by healing assault like this, by recovering the light back in you, it helps you move forward. It helps you become more successful. It helps you really get going. This is only one of the 14 ways that you can be healed with regards to your relationships, right? This particular one is healing violent assault on your body. There are lots and lots of other ways to do this, and I've talked to you about some of them. And watch out in the upcoming videos. I'll be speaking more about it. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for taking valuable time out of your day to listen in. If you found this message helpful, please help spread the word by giving the broadcast a thumbs up or a 5-star rating. Share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe to my channel with your notifications on. For further training on healing and growing your healing business using my 3-step system, go to www.highpaidhealers.com, and I'll see you in the next video.